Shavua Tov, B'Shem Hashem Naseh V'Natzliach, Be'ezrat Hashem, the learning of the Torah that we do today, may it be in merit of Klal Yisrael, the Chayilim and the Chatufim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send them a Yeshua Keheref Ayin. Their salvation should come to them like a blink of an eye. Rabotai, before I do begin the shiur, I just want to make a small, very, very small disclaimer that I am not, by me giving the shiur, I am not pinpointing anybody. I'm not speaking about anybody. I'm not implying anyone. The truth is that when people come to me with questions, right, they'll say, certain people ask this, certain people say this, certain people write this, and you guys will get the gist of the shiur as I go inside of it. It's very mind-boggling. How do you have people today that have the audacity to be able to speak against the Torah? They say, who are the Chachamim? The Talmidei Chachamim are learning, while their wives are suffering. Rabotai, just this past week, everybody, I didn't know, but I was learning. My wife calls me, she tells me, babe, did you hear what happened in Lakewood? I said, no, I don't hear what happened in Lakewood. I did not hear what happened in Lakewood. She says, as everybody knows, I think everybody knows, a mother, Rabotai, doesn't matter what happened, the mother with the two children, I'm not going to get into the details. That in itself is heartbreaking. Now, whatever the reason is, but you know what people told me, and this was the most saddest part? It's a firm family. It's not a regular family. It's from Talmidei Chachamim, people that are God-fearing, the husband's a Ben Torah, and so on and so forth. Again, nobody knows. I don't know the people. You don't know the people. And it was mind-boggling. Instead of understanding them, what they're going through, we put more salt to the wound. And that's sickening. I'm sorry to say. Some of the comments that people showed me, again, I don't know the people. I don't even know who's saying it. You guys probably don't even know. Again, I'm not speaking about anybody per se. But the concept, the idea has to be spoken about. So, a lot of people automatically assume and they judge, here you go, the Talmidei Chachamim, they're learning Torah, while the wife is whatever, right? And previous cases similar to this and so on and so forth. Somehow we think we got it all figured out. When your husbands go to work, you keep your mouth shut. How somehow when the B'nai Torah want to actually learn Torah, somehow something bad happens automatically. Why are they learning Torah? Now again, Rabotai, I'm not speaking about anybody, Chas v'Shalom. I don't know you, you don't know me. I'm telling you facts. And I want to share with you something today. Now I thought about not putting this on recording. In previous cases, there's things that happen and all the time, and believe me, and I have no doubt in my mind that rabbis got up about this and they spoke about this, about the importance of not degrading Torah, speaking bad about Talmidei Chachamim, and so on and so forth. I didn't want to get into it. I asked a certain rabbi, whatever, a very big rabbi, should I speak to it about a certain, whatever, this whole thing, what happened one time. I'm not going to go into details. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. He said, let everything cool down, whatever it was, let everything, let time pass. Time heals everything. Okay, fine. When I came across this parsha, again, the same thing came through my mind, especially after what happened. Can you be quiet again? Now, Rabotai, we need to understand. If a person puts poison into your cup, what you're about to drink, and another person that sees this person putting poison into your cup, and he doesn't say anything to you about what this person did to you by putting poison in your cup, and when you consume it, you might die, chas v'shalom, you might become bedridden, you become very ill, paralyzed, whatever it might be. And that person that knew that he should have told you, will you be upset with him? At the end of the day, he knows, he'll tell you, I messed up, I should have told you, but I didn't. Will you be upset with that person that knew and never told you the emet? 100% you'll be upset at him. It's like a person has a remedy, he has a drug that is able to heal any type of sickness, but he doesn't want to speak about it. He's more concerned about making money and so on and so forth, so having more sick patients than to trying to healing the patient so they never come back. but he's going to lose. Rabbi said this is the problem with us. A lot of times, we try to broom these concepts underneath the carpet. Don't speak about it, don't say it, don't do it, not now, blah, blah, blah. What is he going to say? What is she going to say? Now, guys, the emes is, I don't know who's going to be listening to this. So I'm telling you now, I have nobody in mind. But when I came across this parsha, I said to myself, if the Torah speaks about it, then we have to speak about it. Not only the Rabbanim, Rabbotai, but also people that are looked upon. We have to get up and we have to make a stand. Enough is enough. We cannot keep on blaming the people that study Torah if something goes wrong. Rabbotai, I don't know if you guys ever did your research. How many problems there are every single day? How many people are dying every single day from whatever it might be? Doesn't matter. You know, when you have a person, Chas v'shalom, if he's sick with a certain sickness, lo leinu, do you say it's because he's religious? No! If the person has a lo leinu, it's a sickness. What's one thing have to do with another? You can't go ahead and label the Yiddishkeit as, oh, this is bad, oh, this is bad. Learning Torah is bad. They're not helping their wives. Now, Rabotai, again, we have to understand. Try to understand me the correct way. I am not here to chas v'shalom speak against anybody, to speak down on anyone. I am here just to share with you guys a powerful idea. If you know anyone that does this, I'm about to read for you, just explain to them that it is very, very dangerous what they're doing, and I'll read for you right over here, Belineder, and they have to know the consequences they're going to face. Because like I said before, Rabotai, how does a person have the audacity to get up and not be ashamed to write certain comments, to say certain things, whether it be on the comment list, whether it be on whatever, on the video, on YouTube, wherever they might post it. It doesn't matter. Whatever they might, how do you have the audacity to speak against Hashem's Torah, against Hashem's Talmidei Chachamim, against Hashem Himself, when we don't even know why a dog barks? I told you this one time before. There was a guy who was trying to understand why does Hashem do certain things. Another guy asked him, tell me, do you know why a dog barks? He said no. Do you know why a cow goes moo? He said no. You know why a lion roars? He said no. He says, you don't know what each animal's function is. You want to try to understand the Boira Oilam. You want to try to understand how Hashem does what He does. Who are we, Rabotai? Who are we? Who are we, Rabotai? We're cockroaches. Rabotai, we're very, very small. And this is very sickening what's going on in the world, just because people feel that they have a few pennies in their pocket. Rabotai, I have to find this Gemara. Yes, you have no idea. The problem is, when you learn Baruch Hashem B'lein Hara, you think you're going to remember, and you forget. There's a lot that comes in. Whatever, I forgot that Gemara. There's a clear Rashi. Rashi says that the only reason Hashem gives money to rich people is to stand up and do what's right, to fight for the honor of Hashem, not to use that money to go against Hashem. But He says the people that do it, believe another one, I'll find it, I'll show it to you guys. But the people that do it, they get up and they use the money to go against Hashem. They do forbidden parties. They use that money to sponsor people that go against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They use, whatever it is, they're helping with that money. Rabotai, in the end, every single dollar is going to be taken away. Till the dime. Then we'll see, Rabotai, who's going to listen to them. Then we're going to even see if they're going to open their mouth to have the audacity to say, oh, the Torah, oh, the Talmidei Chachamim, oh, the rabbis, oh, Hashem, why? Rabotai, you find anybody on the street, lo leinu chas v'shalom, a person who has no nickel, he doesn't have a dime to his name, you're going to listen to him? No. We only listen to people that have money. Unfortunately, this is how people are. Right? I heard something very nice. I heard something by Rabbi Nisim Kaplan Shlitah. He's a Rosh Hashiva in Mir Yeshiva. He said something very fascinating, which just stuck by me. Whatever, there was a fundraising he had to do, whatever. I'm not going to go through the whole story. Whatever the situation was, he said the seating was not right, it was outside, whatever. He went to the whole thing. And the guy, one of the people, one of his supporters said, listen, Rabbi, we're going to lose a lot of money over here. Listen, you can make a connection with each one. Everybody's going to donate to your yeshiva tomorrow. Rabbi said, listen to this. How do you know? How do you know if a person is emet or not? So Rabbi Nisa Kappa said, give me a few minutes. He said, let me think about it. 5 minutes he thought about it. He came back and he said, no, he can't sit over here. Whatever the situation was. I'm not going to make the whole story long right now. Whatever it was. So the supporter said to him, Rabbi, I don't think you understand what you're doing. This is one in a lifetime opportunity where you could go ahead and build a connection with each guy over here. He said, let me ask you a question. If these people over here wouldn't give me a dime, right? They would all have no money. They're poor. And they're doing whatever they're doing now, whatever the situation was. Would I sit with them? No. So why, just because a person has money, I have to go now and sit with them? I have to sell, I have to sell Hashem, His Torah, my ethics, everything, just because he has money? He said, absolutely not. The litmus test of a person is not Rabbi Isai when he goes to people that has money, Rabotai. The litmus test of a person is of a person where he's able to be equal through and through. Whether you're poor, I won't come. Whether you're rich, it doesn't make a difference. One way or the other. This is the emes, Rabotai. You're not moved because the person has money. But unfortunately, that is the case today. People have money, so they think they can say whatever they want. And people, unfortunately, that are not so learned, they look up to them and they think what they're saying, maybe there's something to it. Excuse me. Rabotai, there's nothing to it. It's clearly going against the Torah. There's a reason why there's a judicial system, meaning a bedin. You have a problem, you don't like something, take it to court. You don't understand something, go to the rabbi. Say, Rabbi, this guy did this to me, can we speak it out? There's no need to go ahead and speak it out in public where millions of people are going to see how this person is embarrassed, or what happened in Lakewood, Chasam, or the other situations. There's no reason to put our comments on the bottom and to speak negative about the situation about that. As bad it is with the situation at hand. And what do? We add more salt to the wound. Rabotai, there's a reason why the Torah made a bedin. You're not happy with something. You're not happy with somebody. You felt somebody assaulted you in a certain way, aggravated you. Maybe they did something to you that hurt you. No problem. Take it up with bedin. Go to the rabbis, the town Kvod Rav, or the judicial system, meaning the bedin. Because to a non-Jewish court, we're not allowed to go. So we're not allowed to go without the permission of the Jewish court. Whatever Rabbotai, there's halachot to this. All I'm just trying to tell you, we have to be very careful when it comes to speaking against Hashem's Torah and His people. That's all. So I just want to, it was a small disclaimer. I guess it was a little bit bigger than expected. But I want to just share with you something very important. Wow, okay. והאנשים אשר שלח משה, רבותיי, in פרשת שלח לך, in פרק י"ד, in פסוק ל"ו, והאנשים אשר שלח משה, and the men that Moshe Rabbeinu sent, לטור את הארץ, to go and spy on the land, וישובו וילינו עליו את כל העדה. They returned, and they provoked all the Jewish people, להוציא דיבה על הארץ. They provoked the whole Jewish people to go ahead to Moshe Rabbeinu and to speak to him. They gave basically a bad report about the land of Israel. Now, what happened? Rabotai, I want to just share with you something very small. It's not small, Michila. Something very big. The spies did not say anything about anyone. The spies came back saying the 100% the truth. Right? Thinking it's okay. No, it's not okay. Even though it's the truth, it is not okay. And they spoke on Eitzim ve'avenim. They spoke on the land of Israel, which is wood and stone. They didn't speak on people per se. They didn't say, oh, Rabbi, this guy. They didn't point fingers. They just explained. They spoke on Eretz Israel, which has no neshama. Right? It's not living. Everything is inanimate object, right? It's not living. What does the pasuk say? The 10 people, right? It was 12 people, but 10 of them are the ones that spoke bad about the land of Israel. We know that Yeshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Yefuneh, they too were excluded from the equation. What happened to these 10 people? Vayamutu ha'anashim motzi'ei dibat ha'aretz ra'a b'magefa lifnei Hashem. The people, the people that spoke bad about the land of Israel, they died in a magefa, in a plague, lifnei Hashem. Let me see over here something that boy say. Let me see. All right, we'll see. Let me see this over here. Continues the pasuk and he says, "V'Yoshua bin Nun v'Kalev ben Yefuneh chayu min anashim hahem harochim latur et haaretz." But Yehoshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Yefuneh, they were actually the two people that lived from the men when they went to spy on the land of Israel. Now, Rabotai, just to take this as a simple understanding, the other men that spoke bad against the land of Israel, they all died before Hashem a b'magefa. They didn't die a normal death like with people in other. I just wanted to see where this was. Yes, I'll read it for you right now because I remember doing it. Okay. People all in, they could go to sleep, drown, 1, 2, 3. But these people died a very abnormal death, as we'll see. However, Yeshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, the son of Yefuneh, they were the only two people that lived from amongst those men that went to spy the land of Israel. Rabotai, when I look at these two pasukim, do you know what it teaches me? One simple point. When you do the right thing, you never lose. When a Jew does the right thing, he never loses. Rabotai, we have to strengthen ourselves in our decision making. My friend wants to go to the pool right now. It's the pool season. Beach, hotel, parties. Rabotai, we need to be strong in our decision making. Don't be like the other miraglim that go and they do the wrong things. Because in the end, I don't want to read whatever happened to them might happen to the people that make the wrong decisions in this world. Be like Yehoshua ben Nun and Caleb ben Yefuneh. Do the right decision. Don't be like the other 10 miraglim. Be like the other 2 that spoke good about the land of Israel. Take yourself out from the rest of the people. Don't be like sheep. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean you and I should do it. You have to be strong in making your decision, saying no. As simple as that, Rabotai. It's a 2-letter word. That's it. That's all it is, Rabotai. N-O. That's it. If somebody can't understand it, this is their problem. Listen to this, guys, because it's very critical for us to know this, because you have to understand, as men, you are the foundation in your house. You are the head in your house. If you're able to say no, your wife will be able to say no. Your kids will be able to say no. And everything follows suit. But if you can't say no, how do you want your wife and children tomorrow to say no? You have to be the Rabotai. You have to be the one that's leading the way. I will read for you in the Mikra Gidolot. He brings down in Od Lamed Zayin, Likutei Bababel Yerushalmi. He says like this. What does it mean that they died, right? Because they spoke about the land of Israel. What does it mean they died? Right, by Megefa. What does that mean? They died in a plague. I was speaking about this on Shabbat, and I was trying to pass over the message in the shul. Like when we read the Torah, right? When we read Shulchan Aruch, when we read Gemara, when we read these things, do we think it's like a history? Do we think that this, okay, they did it, it's them. It's not us. Hashem is going to love us, right? What are we thinking, Rabotai? Like, what are we thinking? Do we believe 100% that the Torah is a myth? If yes, so why are we continuing in our ways? I don't understand, Rabotai. I don't. Rabotai, you have to understand. You know, there's Gemara that says, Na'eh doresh v'na'eh mikayem. You know, if one who gives a drasha, one who teaches, and one who fulfills what he teaches. That's beautiful. But you have people, unfortunately, some people that they like to teach, but they don't like to fulfill what they're teaching. I'm asking a simple question. Are we those people that like to learn but not to apply what we're learning? Okay, it's there. It's just, you know, how they call it, mental exercise, whatever you want to call it. Mental ecstasy, whatever you want to call it. Rabotai, the Torah is 100%. If the Torah tells us that these Meraglim died a death in a Magifah, in a plague, and the other two, Yehoshua ben Nun and Kaleb ben Yefuneh, and they're the ones that survived from all of them, what do we see from over here? When you make the right decisions, you're going to live. So we believe it or not? So you want to explain to me right now that when I go, Chas v'shalom, not me, but when I go, Rabotai, when somebody tells me, Rabbi, come to here, Rabbi, come over here, Rabbi, do this, Rabbi, let's go to the beach, Rabbi, let's go to the pool, right, where there's all priesthood today, and women, I don't know where they got the Hava Amina. Somebody told me, Rabbi, I went to the beach, whatever it was, it doesn't matter. I went to the beach, and there was a woman, she was in a kosher bathing suit. I didn't know that there's such thing as kosher bathing suit. I didn't know that when a woman goes inside the water and when she comes back out, her body's covered like a full umbrella where nobody can see what nothing on her. Rabotai, through any given bathing suit, if you go into the water, I don't care if it's a full dress, if you go into the water and when you come out of the water, you're going to see your skin. You could see everything else. I don't have to be here. I don't have to be vivid with what I'm about to explain. There's no such a thing as a kosher bathing suit. Especially now when you're in a mixed beach. And then what's your husband doing there? What are you doing there other men looking at you? Rabotai, this is where we can't, we're not putting one and one together, Rabotai. Why in the world would a person ever go, even if you're invited, even if it's your parents, even if it's your in-laws, or to not kosher parties, or to movie theaters, doesn't matter what the situation is going to be. Why in the world would you want to join these kind of people, knowing the consequences that are waiting for you? For what? They say, Chas v'shalom lo lein, Rabotai, I don't want to even get into this topic. Unfortunately, sometimes men fall over here, men fell over here, meaning they stay with this woman, then they get divorced. But their common denominator, at the end what they say? Rabbi, it was not worth it. 2 minutes of pleasure was not worth it. This that had destroyed my whole family. Chas v'shalom, that's what they say. They had a beautiful wife, beautiful children. Everything was going for them. For two, I'm not judging nobody, chas v'shalom. I don't even know, I should never understand these situations. But Rabotai, I want to ask you guys a question. For 2 hours in the beach, 2 hours in a not kosher party, are you ready to suffer the consequences for the next 30 years, if not more? Is it smart? We have to put in our mind what's important and what's not important. If the Torah is important, go with the Torah. If the Torah is not important to you, go with whatever you want to go, Rabotai. But don't show the world, Rabotai, that sometimes I'm religious over here and I'm fake over here. Religion over here. Don't confuse other people, especially your wife and your own children. How did the Navi say, Rabotai? Im Hashem wa Elokim. If Hashem is God, lechu acharav. Im habal hu Elohim, lechu acharav. If the Baal, if the Avodah Zarah, if he's God, go after him. But don't be dancing in two worlds. Don't, Rabotai. There's a lot to say on this. All I'm just trying to bring at a point. We want to try to do what's right like Yehoshua ben Nun and Kaleb ben Yefuneh. You do what's right, Rabotai, you're going to live. You're going to have a great life. But when you do what's wrong, you're always trying to make up that wrong that you did. Always trying to do tshuva. One guy comes to me, he's like, Rabbi, okay, so I slept with her. Whatever, Rabotai, I'm not going to get it. Yeah, real case. Rabbi, I can't get into the details. He was with a certain girl. I could do teshuvah. I didn't say you can't do teshuvah. But do you know how long it takes to repair that sin? What he did? Do you think it's that simple? You think it's that simple? Rabbi, it's not that simple. If it was that simple, I would also do chas v'shalom, do Averis, and then wake up in the morning and go like this. But it's not that simple. I was davening mincha in a certain shul. There's a very big rabbi. I love this rabbi. Believe me, the guy, Rabotai, I love Talmidei Chacham. Without them, we have no life. Because of them, the world exists. It's very simple. So I was doing, right, Chatayat Aviti Pashati, correct? I don't know. So I don't know how it happened. Right, so I was doing like this. So basically, the heart's over here. So you have to say Chatayat Aviti Pashati, right? So I was going like this. I don't know what happened. Maybe I was just doing it too fast without even paying attention. So the rabbi comes up to me. He's like, Kvod Rav, the heart is over here and it's not over here. So I told him, I said, Kvod Rav, I am not doing Chatayat Aviti Pashat. I'm saying Nebach Toba that we sin and we come back and we sin and we say Hashem forgive us, and we come back and we sin and we say Hashem forgive us. Because that's how fast we do. We don't even pay attention to what we're already doing. We think we do an Avera tomorrow, and the following day we could do Teshuvah, and that's it. That's how it works. Rabotai, one time I attended whatever. I attended Shabbat Barachot. How they promised everything would be separate, blah blah blah, whatever. Not only was not separate seating, it was a Shabbat Chatan on Shabbat, Rabotai. I'll never forget. It's like yesterday, but it was many years ago. I'll never forget that day, Rabotai. There was a guy who got up with the kippah, more religious than me. The mashgiach wanted to throw me out like a dog from the restaurant because they asked me, how did you get fish so hot on Shabbat? It was like, the carp fish, like you see the oil's coming out of the fish. I mean, it's not on the platter, but I really wanted to know. Rabotai, these two people, the grandfather with the kippah and the mashgiach that wanted to throw me out because I asked me on the food, the grandfather took the microphone because the whole problem I did was because he took a microphone on the Shabbat Chatan and he said, listen to this Rabbi side. He said, today we're going to have a good time. Сегодня мы кайфуем. Завтра мы пойдем к Анисо и будем Tehillim читать. Today we're having a good time. Tomorrow we're going to go and we're going to recite Tehillim. And Hashem is going to forgive us. Am ha'aretz, Rasha mirusha, Rabotai, speak like that. Rabotai, they had music. I remember getting out of the restaurant. So today, Rabotai, that restaurant no longer exists. So don't start looking for which restaurant it is. But Rabotai, this is what we're dealing with. This, Rabotai, these type of people, we have to know what's right and what's wrong. We can't, Rabotai, live a double life. We want to be able to be the ones that are making the right decisions, that are calling the right decisions with Hashem's help. But we can't be like sheep that go into the slaughterhouse. Okay. Rabotai, he said like this. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. That's why when we learn something, we have to understand it's 100%. That's it. That's what I'm trying to tell. Listen what he says. Amar Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish. Rabbi Shimon, the son of Lakish, said, what does it mean that the people that spoke about the land of Israel badly, that they died in a plague? What does that mean? Shemetu mita meshuna. They all died an abnormal death. Amar Rabbi Chanina bar Papa. Rabbi Chanina, the son of Papa, said, Darash Rabbi Shiloh, Ish kafar Tamrata. Rabbi Shiloh, the man from the village of Tamrata, he expounded. Melamed comes to teach you. What does it mean, an abnormal death? Here we go, Rabotai. Melamed comes to teach you. Shenitrabeb leshonam v'nafal al tiburam. Their tongue stretched out, lo leinu, and it fell onto their belly button. V'hayu tolo'in yotzaot mileshonam v'nichnasot bitiburam. And the worms were coming out from their tongue and was going into their belly button. Umitiburam v'nichnasot bileshonam. And from their belly button, and it would enter and go back into the tongue. That was their punishment, Rabotai, for speaking on Eretz Yisrael. We have to ask ourselves, is it worth it for us to speak about, number one, about anybody when it comes to Lashon Hara? When it comes to speak bad about anybody. And how much more so when it comes to Hashem's Torah? Who are we to make these decisions? Oh, because the husband went to learn Torah, that's why this happened. Oh, because he's like, that's why he suffered. Oh, because that's what they... Who do you think, Rabotai? Who do we think, Rabotai, we are to make such calls? It's chutzpah she'en kudugmato. We never, Rabotai, we've seen this brazenness. Never, Rabotai. If somebody's bothered by something, you go take it to the side and you speak. But to embarrass in public, to make videos, Rabotai, to put comments on like that, what do you think? You're going to be here forever? Rabotai, even after you die, these things are going to be on your name. Because every other person that watches it, it's in Avera. A person has to come out and do complete teshuvah. If you can't erase it, you can't make a video. I was wrong. Teach the people that this is wrong. We're apologetic. We didn't mean it. That you have to come back out. You have to do teshuvah not by only like this, but by also publicizing what you did was wrong. Let the world know, because you didn't do it between you and God. You did it between you and millions of people that saw it. So you got to go back and you got to make teshuvah between you and millions of people. Rabotai, here we go. Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Amar, Rav Nachman the son of Yitzchak said, do you know what kind of death that they died? Be'askara metu. Masech Sotat Avlam Amor Aleph. They died the meat of Askara. What is Askara? Rabotai Lolin Chas v'Shalom. The Gemara explains. The swelling of the intestines in the stomach, the swelling starts in the stomach, because all a person's is able to speak because he has air. Starts in the stomach, it swells, go up, until it's able to reach the throat. Once it swells by the throat, the pipe of the breathing pipe closes, and he could no longer breathe. It's a very slow, painful death. That's the death that they died, which was a plague, which was very abnormal, which is a very, very severe death. Not only that, excuse me, Miraglim ein lahem chelek leolam haba. The Miraglim, they have no portion in the world to come. For what, Rabotai? For speaking bad against the land of Israel. Why? They embarrass somebody. Rabotai, we have to understand, if this is their punishment, and they spoke about the rocks, we'll see, rocks and stones, stones and wood. We, Rabotai, why do we open our mouths? Rabotai, how Chazal tell us? The best remedy to a person is shtika. Quiet, be quiet. You have something to say, think it over, write it. See if it's worth bringing out into the public. Shtika. Being silently effective. Do everything silent, Rabotai, quiet. Something bothers you, speak to the person. Somebody wronged you, speak to the person. You don't know the story, find out the facts before you get out and think that you know anything. Amr Rabbi Lazar ben Parta, Rabbi Lazar the son of Parta said, Bo ure kama gadol koch shel lashon hara. Come and see how great, what strength lashon hara has. Minalan from where? Mimiraglim from the mirag, from the spies. Uma hamotzi shemra al eitzim va'avanim kach. Rabotai, if this is only that they spoke bad, they spoke basically badly about wood, trees and stones, that's their punishment. Hamotzi shemra al chaveru al achat kama vekama. Rabotai, and how much more so if a person is going to go ahead and he's going to give a bad name to his friend, how much more so? Rabotai, giving a bad name to your friend, speaking badly about Talmidei Chachamim, giving a bad name to Torah and to the Jews is much, much more worse than giving a bad name to